Is that one coming in now?
Such a beautiful morning.
I love this time of day.
Curlew feeding. So people are asking, what do these events achieve? What have you achieved? What's the conclusion? And we've had people from all walks of life, and we've had farmers, we've had photographers, we've had journalists, we've had all sorts of people up here. People who shoot, who've never set foot on a moor or never set foot on a moor in spring. And we can't make them write articles or whatever. What we can do, and what we have done, is show them what there is here and where they used to be. For example, black grouse used to be in every county of the UK. Now, where we are probably has 10% of England's black grouse. And we can educate them, show them what's here, or engage them and show them what's here. And I guess when they go home, it's up to them what they do about it. I hope that particularly the shooting people will fall in love with wildlife again. I feel a portion of the shooting community have lost their connection with the countryside and Britain's wildlife. But I guess what I hope is they can spread the word, and particularly when dialogue is taking place about the uplands or places like where we are, that they can go, well, actually, and tell their story and tell people what they saw and what they experienced and how they experienced it. You can't put these birds here, then they're naturally here, and they don't have to be here, but they choose to be here and they thrive here. So all we can hope for is that people tell their story. I can't force them to. Nobody comes here on the condition that they write X or Y. We just try and tell our story. It's a pair of greys that hang out around here. We've seen a lot of wild greys, 20, 30 pairs I should think. So nobody's here on the condition they do something or write something. All we can do is show them and hope that they understand it and can tell their story. Perhaps around a dinner table, perhaps via social media, perhaps they may write articles, I don't know. But I think that is the best we can hope for. That people can learn and understand and perhaps engage. And I think best of all, appreciate and evolve an affection for these places. And if we achieve that, then I think we've done our bit. And the same applies to the lowlands. There was a we've had excellent discussions, lively discussions. And there was a story of somebody engaging a farmer with a feeder to encourage his wild game, and that was the I can't even remember how he expressed it, but he expressed it extremely well. That was the sort of starter offer, and then the real sort of cocaine of the whole thing was when he began to care about his yellowhammers and wish to see them thrive and so on. And I think we've just got to get back to the connection between shooting, conservation, and having an appreciation of our wildlife, because if we don't appreciate it, we're not going to be in a mood to defend it and the people that care for it. What a beautiful light on these greys. I also think what was clear in terms of social license for shooting, nobody was against shooting. We didn't pick people who weren't against shooting. We actually didn't know where people stood in many regards. But I think it was clear that for shooting to have a chance of surviving, it has to contribute to the community, and it has to contribute to the well-being of Britain's wildlife and biodiversity. And I think it needs to start to become part of one's considerations when taking shooting. You know, what does my shoot, what does the shoot contribute to the community? How many local people does it employ? What does it put back? What does it contribute? What's it doing for Britain's wildlife? And I don't mean a game crop happens to contribute. A game crop needs to be chosen to contribute. And I think that if shoots aren't conscious of that, and people who are taking shooting or involved in shooting don't make choices on that basis, they probably are not contributing to the future and well-being of shooting. I think that was a pretty clear message. So this might be Kevin, who should be on the lek. Seems to forget to go. Well, maybe he's on his way now. What's he up to? He's off to see somebody or something. There he is. I mean, it's been an incredible morning. It's a beautiful morning. But this morning, he's off to visit something. Anyway, I'll carry on this dialogue. This morning I've seen grouse, curlew, I've seen a crow chasing a sparrowhawk, I've seen a curlew chasing a kestrel, I've seen grey partridges, I've seen lapwings and their chicks, I've seen grey hens, I've seen wild cock pheasants, well, wild pheasants, I've seen hens as well. And you can hear Kevin sort of lecking to himself. And that's in less than an hour. And there's some beautiful light. This is lapwing with her chicks. One. There she is. Two. I'm afraid I'm only, oh no, thank goodness there's three. But to conclude this little chat about why Moorlands matter and what we achieve, I think all we can ask is that we successfully show people what there is and why it's here and how it's here. And if we can do that, we've achieved something, because we've shown them. Where it would be a disaster is if we can't show them the wildlife, either because of terrible weather or because it's not here. But it was undoubtedly here. So we have to rely on how people feel about what they see, and whether they have affection for it and whether they value it, for that success to go any further. And I guess if they don't, then it won't ultimately survive, because valuing it is what will make people fight for it and wish to see it preserved and protected. Keep thinking she might take them and brood them, but they seem to be feeding. Oh, there's a black grouse going across. I can hear some greys. Don't know where the black grouse is off to. They're all behaving themselves quite well this morning. Not wandering off too far, having a good dig around. I always think they're like ping pong balls with nappies on. The white at the back being the nappies. This is very funny. They've grown some since I've been up. So she's done well so far. She's only lost one. I think she's calling them in. I think. We'll see what happens. No?